I'll put it on mute. important.
All right,
We're
we're
ready
gonna
to
do
go.
the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Tim, Richard,
I'm here.
Tom,
Yeah.
Justin,
Present.
and Cindy.
Absent.
Yeah.
All right, kick things off. I'll entertain a motion for approval of April's minutes.
I'll make a motion for regular minutes. Second.
There's been a motion and properly second to approve the April 21st RDC meeting. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. All right, Russell, we all have the draft economic development plan in front of us. I don't know if you want to walk through any of that stuff. I know the map's been added back. And you made some statutory changes in it, and that's been sent over to the rest of the commission, so.
Yeah, so obviously, what I added to the document was more of just making sure that we had complied with the document contained the required findings of fact. The statute lays out certain things that the commission must include in a redevelopment, in an economic development plan, in order for it to be approved, and considered and approved by both this body and reviewed and approved by the council and the plan commission as well. So I added those to the document. The goal of this document, as we mentioned a couple of months ago, was just to provide high-level kind of purpose and intent of the commission, lay out some broad goals, which you've done through targeting residential development, targeting commercial development in the downtown area, and the other thing that you guys did a great job of is pointing out potential properties that could be acquired for redevelopment at a later time. And that's another component that if the commission ever wanted to acquire itself properties, they need to identify them in the economic development plan. And so we're contemplating to include that list of properties that have been and as potential development opportunities and evaluation that was done as Exhibit B into the document. And that would allow you, if funds were available at a later date, to directly acquire those by the redevelopment commission. So those are the kind of the statutory inclusions in there. So your mission and the contact that you provided is great. Probably a little more than I've seen in some other communities. So kudos to you guys for doing that. And then the findings of fact in Section 7 are very much I tried to wordsmith what you had already provided, and then include those specific statutory required findings of fact. So when you adopt the plan through your confirmatory resolution, which will be next month, presumably next month, you effectively incorporate those findings of fact into your resolution, and that allows the economic development plan to be approved and actionable by you. So happy to answer any specific questions, but again, overall, the only other thing that I had, and I apologize I did not look, typically these do not have a kind of the original draft I think had kind of a
Time frame.
a time period, time period on it.
Yeah, we removed it.
I suggested taking that out just because that's not very typical. A comprehensive plan obviously does, but typically these economic development plans do not. And the reason for that is obviously some things can change, but oftentimes economic development projects take a long time to come to fruition. And so no need to require yourself to go through the expense and kind of the machinations to just approve a plan, in 3 years or 5 years, if you're still pursuing those kind of similar goals that are included in this plan.
Okay. Something that we didn't highlight in this plan, and I don't know if it was needed, we talked about tiffing some areas. That follows us adopting this economic development plan, right?
Correct, yes. You have to have an economic development plan in place because that creates the economic development area. So that's the map. The purpose of the map is to create the economic development area, which is the boundaries of the town. And then we would create an allocation area. That's the TIF area. So you would go then and select parcels that are under development or to be developed to be included in that allocation area. And then once you start receiving revenues, those can be spent anywhere in the economic development area. So they're not bound to only be spent in the allocation area, but can be spent in the economic development area. So that's why we have a broader economic development area and then a narrower allocation area to create that revenue for you.
Okay. You guys have any questions? So I guess the next step is you provided a notice of public hearing, so we'll need to get that posted to basically have the public hearing during our next RDC meeting in June.
So process is, I've provided you a bunch of paper for this meeting, which is what lawyers love to do, obviously. But I provided you an initial resolution, which would be the resolution which adopts this plan. The next step would be you adopt, and that is the resolution 1, which is the designation of the economic development area and adoption of an economic development plan. After you approve that resolution, you would forward this plan with this resolution and the map and the Exhibit B documents to both the town council and to the plan commission. And I've provided you proposed resolutions for both of those bodies as well.
Mm-hmm.
After those bodies have approved your plan, then you would then put your notice, your 10-day public notice, published notice, and you would hold a public hearing at your next meeting. Assuming that no one comes and says, hey, I think in your economic development plan, you should add these goals or these objectives or these properties to be considered. You could then just simply confirming your action of approving this plan. And at that point, it then becomes fully adopted and actionable. So you have effectively 4 steps: your initial adoption, plan commission, town council, consideration and approval, and then you hold a public hearing and adopt a confirmatory resolution, which I also prepared for you.
And that's the one where it says that we done this on such and such date, the council done it, the planning commission, and then it's actually caused to be published. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
Clear to me. Clear to you all?
Question, do we know when the planning commission meets? And no, we don't know.
Yeah, well, to me, that, I don't know what it is. I can find that.
Yeah, we can find out on
Should
that.
should we attend that planning commission meeting for questions?
I think it'd be helpful to make sure that somebody is, available at that meeting. Obviously, their sole review on that is to just confirm that nothing in the plan interferes with the comprehensive plan or plans for development in the town. And given that, you've just adopted a comp plan and many of these goals marry up, very closely to those comp plan goals, there should be no issue. But it certainly would be helpful to have somebody there to just say, hey, we formed our redevelopment commission. We're working through the creation of our first economic development plan, and this is is a statutorily required step, and please pass it.
And it's required because we acknowledge the planning commission, or?
But no, it's required, it is a requirement
Okay.
of statute that both the planning commission review it and confirm that it does not interfere with the comp plan or other plans for development in the area. So that is a requirement of statute.
The only other question, does the statute require we have a member from the school board? Or is it just?
Yes, it does. It's required, they're advisory board members, they're an advisory member. The way that the statute is written, it actually says that you guys select a member from the representing the school board. Obviously, that seems a little aggressive from my perspective. So, I mean, the other bodies have done it where they've asked for an appointment or a representative from the school corporation. I'll tell you that there's not great attendance usually by that person, but they are an advisory member of the planning commission. Or I'm sorry, of the RDC.
We've extended an invitation twice with no response. I just wondered what happened if we don't get any.
Well, I think that I don't think you're gonna. No one's gonna come back and say you were excluding us, and your action should be stricken down again because they're an advisory member, non-voting advisory member. I think that I would continue to send the superintendent or the board president, school board president, notice of the meetings and just remind them that we'd love to have an appointment from your body, represented at these meetings, and just continue to make that effort. But obviously, you can't require them. You can't make them.
And they both been verbal, so we probably should put a written invitation. Yeah, in writing, and we did ask.
I can draft an email and just send it. Who's the school board president?
I have no idea. I don't even know who's on this.
Casey Carmichael, Beth Carr, Lisa Thompson. I'm trying to think who that is.
Relation.
No relation. I'll send an email. That way it's documented.
So, real quick, if the planning commission meets the second Wednesday, that's June the 10th, then we couldn't have our meeting until June the 25th.
We couldn't have it until.
You gotta have 10 days, 10 business days.
Well, what we'll do, if I'm understanding Russell correctly, at our June meeting, our typical normal June meeting, we'll adopt this, right?
Okay,
Is that correct, Russell? The RDC will adopt this resolution 1/2026, and then
You can adopt resolution. You need to adopt resolution 1/2026 tonight.
oh, okay, perfect.
And that will start that starts in motion. All those others.
So the council can also approve their resolution tonight as well. Then
Correct. Yes, they do.
good. We'll knock two of them out.
I thought that the planning had to have theirs first, but that's great. I'm glad to know that. But I can't advertise the public hearing until we get that one, correct?
Your risk would be that if you advertise in advance of the planning commission taking their action and they don't take an action at their June meeting, then you would have to delay it. You'd have to renotice,
Right.
Republish notice.
So I was
that
just,
would be your risk.
okay. So I was just wanting them to know that it's going to be later because of the planning commission.
Okay. Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So on this resolution adoption, do we need to suspend any rules, or can we just pass it on?
No, I would just entertain, if I was chair, I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 1/2026.
All right. So if you guys are good with economic development plan, I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1-2026.
I'll make that motion.
There's been a motion properly second to pass resolution number 1-2026. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carries. So tonight, you
So
guys,
what you guys need to do that, just what I would do is I would, assign a copy of that resolution with a full economic development plan attached, and that would include, the map and then that full attachment B. I would submit that to, obviously you can do that to the council very easily, but I would send it to the planning commission, planning director, and ask them to place this, on their next agenda and send them the proposed resolution.
We don't have anything on the agenda yet. So it's good.
okay, we can do that tonight. We have the economic development plan, and then you can print off the map and stuff, or not the map, but the attachments for all the properties that we identified.
Oh, yes,
That'll be
yes.
exhibit B of this, and then we'll give
Okay.
it to the council, and then they can pass this resolution this evening.
Okay.
All right.
Now, what is the other resolution we need to do? I want to make sure I have it out here.
That's one.
So you'll do this one right here. It's got Richard's name on it.
Okay, got it. Okay. Just want to double check.
And then after those are approved, we'll send the same copy of the economic development plan with exhibit A and B.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it is. Try to attend that meeting. Okay, so after all these plans are, have been, or I guess the resolution's adopted, Russell, what I had on the agenda here, what's the next steps? It's just then we identify in the areas we want to TIF or?
Yeah, guys, the next thing to do would be, if the goal is, if you want to test the convenience store development, then we would start through a similar process. That has a similar process to this, where it's got an initial hearing, and then kind of goes through the same process on a public hearing. The only additional component we would have, I would generate 90% of the documents. The only additional component that you have to adopt an allocation area is that you need a fiscal impact study, and that is not something that I can provide. That is typically done by a financial advisor, someone like Crow or Baker Tilly, or I think we've talked about Olivia Crone and some others like that. And so that would be the other thing that has to be done in anticipation of the creation of an allocation area. And that fiscal plan has to be mailed to the overlapping taxing units in advance of your public hearing. And so I would typically tell clients that's about a 45-day process, start to finish, and you really just need to be done by the end of the year, and technically to be impacted for this year's assess 26, pay 27 taxes. So it needs to be completed before the end of the calendar year. And that would set your base year for assess 26, pay 27, and then any improvements, so assess 27, pay 28 would then start to create your increment that the redevelopment commission would collect.
Okay. Because you talked to Steve Brock, right? Did he give you a quote on that? Have we reached out to Buzz?
Not about this. I did about the
Okay.
other, but I will.
All right.
If you
So we'll just take that as an action item between now and June to reach out and get quotes on that. So when we're ready, we're not held up on anything.
Yeah, and I would tell you, I've seen ranges between $4,000 and $10,000 for that work. So just so you don't get sticker shock when you get that quote back.
You don't have any idea if Joe's ready to do anything, so we can do it all at the same time, do you?
I have not talked to Joe about Lewisville recently.
Maybe we need to talk to him about that too.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be costly, and it's going to fall back on the town to
Yeah, and I-
reappropriate some money.
Well, absolutely. And that's something else.
Yeah,
I know some of this Joe said he would take care of, but the Tiffin would be ours, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe had originally talked about, kind of the stand-up costs.
Yeah.
The cost of getting, from here to, from having nothing to an economic development plan and, you probably could stretch, I don't know what I billed thus far, but I mean, I think he talked about a contribution of $3,000 to $5,000, and I think I'm probably around $3 at this point from what I've billed this. You guys have already been billed, and then this work thus far. So, if you was willing to do $5,000, you could probably get my legal work at least done on the allocation area as well.
Yes,
I would say it'd be then just looking to pay for the.
We need to reach out to him and see what's, because I think it would be just as economical if he was gonna be starting something that we do, because they're both in the same neighborhood, basically. Do it all at one time, which might save us some money down the road. And I realize that, I think that's the town's investment idea. Okay,
Yeah, that would absolutely save you money if you could do one, fiscal impact study, if they were in the same allocation area or different allocation areas. And I don't know that would change the price tag too much if it was all done at one time.
okay.
All right. I don't have anything else. You guys have anything else?
The planning commission meets on the 17th of June.
Oh, 17th. Okay.
Just
Yeah, so
FYI,
that means you guys would need to, probably plan to do a meeting a little bit later in the month if you're gonna try to adopt this in June, or you can do it in July with your public hearing, whatever works for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work on ironing out those dates. So, did you have anything else, Russell?
No, I was just gonna say that, I realize that you guys feel like I'm never around, but I will be out of the country the 14th of June to the 22nd. Having a senior child means that you're doing lots of things that you don't normally do, and going to Italy in June is one of those things.
We probably ought to pay you then, shouldn't we, so you can.
if we're gonna have
I mean, I'm happy to have some pasta on your dime.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we appreciate it. Be safe. Be sure. So you get back in the country,
Okay, I'll do that. So I'll just wait for you guys to coordinate on next meeting date, and then happy to help however I can on these other additional approvals.
Yeah, I think between now and June, we have some action items that we'll do that's pretty clear. So we're trying to keep these meetings short and sweet.
All right. Well, that doesn't bother me.
All right, Russell, thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
So if we pass this tonight, Jason Roberts is on the planning commission. He says the next meeting's the 17th. They don't have anything on the agenda, so we need to get this on the agenda.
So you guys can pass this at your board meeting tonight, and then we'll just send this to
then
the planning
to send to
commission.
the planning commission, we gotta take this
And
a copy of that and a copy of the resolution that we just passed here for the.
that's the way I understood it.
If you get it ready, I'll.
And the resolution that we drafted basically for the planning commission, because he's already drafted one for the planning commission as well to pass. Yeah, we can get everything ready before then. Take it. So you're 17. So you're going to that? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I can, but we need to get it on, so I'll take it and give it with Tom Green.
Okay.
When do they meet?
The 17th.
Yeah, what time? It's early, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's earlier than that, to be honest with you. I would have been there.
Yeah, you did. You gonna be gone that week?
July, I won't be here when you reschedule that week. I'm on
I
vacation.
won't be here June the 16th, 17th or 18th.
So that's our next meeting, June 16th.
I'll be here that one, but I will not be here in July. I'm on vacation, St. Louis.
So where are you going
That's
to
fine. Just if you can have this set out,
June.
password and everything, I can.
You can do it,
I can-
okay,
We're on June
okay.
6th.
And I'll just record the meeting. Well, it'll be recorded and then we'll go back to the minutes.
I asked, you guys,
So
Yeah.
tell me, I'm sorry.
What-
I just wanted to ask him something.
is this meeting over?
No, we got to pass the resolution.
We already had that.
Oh, we already did that.
Is there anything else that comes before this commission?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to end the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All right, been moved and second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. And then
All right.
So.
Are we all?